we will be ranking social medias based on how much they will suck and destroy and drain your soul. What is the list based on? So first of all, we're going to talk about the actually good social medias that, don't have a negative impact on your life really. Or, they're very there's 1 in a billion chance something bad will lead you down the road with the social media, all the way to you need to get off right now. Like specifically when you hear your social media, you need to get off because it will just ruin your life. It will ruin what you put in your head. It will ruin your thoughts. This is not your digital detox friendly type video. This is a serious video about the serious communities that are on these social medias, because I have been through them all, most of them at least. Been through these communities, constantly been through these communities, and it's just, I know how they work, I know how they think, and most of it is bad. Most of it is a bad echo chamber. It feels good in the short term, but is bad in the long term. Or sometimes even bad right now and then bad in the future, right? There's very seldom of this is positive, but there is a couple positive ones. So we're going to get to the first one, Reddit, and right off the bat, another hate Reddit video. This is a one I wouldn't put exactly on get off right now, because there it is, that one in a 10,000 billion chance that you could hear something right on Reddit. And the nature of Reddit having certain communities that are good for certain niches and certain ideas, it's all right. But the general community around it is very dogged in their way of thinking, very constantly on this Reddit platform, not seeking any form of escape beyond Reddit, seemingly not knowing how to deal with their problems. And at the same time, above this, they're not dealing with their problems, and they're kind of doing these ironic shit posts about their problems. On top of that, they are not willing to listen to any other advice that is outside of the norm. So if I went on r/memes right now, I did a meme about how memes are really bad for you and how Reddit is really destructive for you. I would probably get banned, right? Same with a bunch of the other communities. If you criticize, even question the communities, you get banned. Just not a good place to be. On above that, it is extremely addicting, and just the cycle of Redditness. There's an aura to the Redditness that you just cannot. There's a musk to the Redditness that you can't be associated with. Messages, obviously nothing bad about messages. It's just a way to message people. It's just a tool like any other. Most of your time, you don't delete your messages, right? I would say to put most of your messages on Do Not Disturb, but that's a section for another video. But beyond that, messages should be 100% fine. Nothing bad should really happen about it. So we have DeviantArt. And I know what you're going to say. Get off it right now. Well, no, I have my own little chart that I'm going to explain. This explains DeviantArt, but it's going to explain a couple of other social medias at the same time. Bad aura, sort of good aura. Even if you don't really know exactly what good and bad really is, there's just stuff objectively that you just know from the head on. Most of you know, this is bad. I can't be doing this. I just need to stop. Even the people who are partaking in this, they know it's bad, right? And there's a certain, even if you don't agree 100% with all the philosophers and everything like that, there's a certain part of them that at least what they're saying is true. At least what they're saying is sort of good. At least they believe themselves as good. So this would be, based. But we also have a different quadrant, which is bad art and good art. Good art. Good art is what has been put a lot of effort and care into. We're not really judging if it's good art. We're just saying the person put a lot of effort and has a lot of skill. Even if you don't think maybe it's beautiful to you, you at least agree that there's some merit to that. So even if you're not a fan of, this type of classical style or this type of classical style, it's not your favorite, you're more a postmodern type person, you can still agree that it is good, well put together art. On the other hand, you have stuff that is bad art, objectively bad art, made by a 10-year-old, not a lot of skill, not a lot of effort, not a lot of soul maybe he's put into it, but it's not something completely degenerate. It's just a little, a little doodle, a little drawings, somebody really didn't care too much about it. Then you have bad art, but also mixed with degeneracy, which is probably worse. I think these two things are bad. We're gonna get into that, but it's stuff that you see and you know that the person who did this did not put a lot of effort into it. It's just terrible. It's just terrible, almost repulsive to look at from both a moral standpoint, but at the same time, a visual aspect. This is at least very. This is bad. We're going into bad territories right here, but at least we know that it took effort and time to put in. It's almost worse that this, degenerate good art is. It's almost worse. It's almost worse because it proves that the person who made this put a lot of effort into what they did, and they just spent so many hours of their time on shit that just doesn't matter, and they just ruin and ruin other people's lives. You can't be doing this, right? So all of this to explain, this is going to explain a lot of it leads us to explain a lot of our artistic social medias, like our Pinterest and our DeviantArt. They are filled sometimes with great, art, but most of it is, even if it's good art, it's degenerate art. Even if you have that one good based piece of art, most of it is bad, right? Most of it is bad for you. So you just can't, I would even say 99% of it is sucking your soul, or that 1 in 10,000, 100,000, you can find something good. I would say 99% sucking your soul. Pinterest, from what I've seen, is the only single social media that I've actually had a better outcome of using it, except for Asterisk, a specific one. When I use Pinterest, I come back a better person. This is extremely rare when it comes to social media. When you use Twitter, for example, you use Twitter like 10 seconds later after, okay, this was a bad idea. Even if you continue using it, you just know it was nothing positive ever came back of using Twitter/X. Same thing as Instagram. Me using Instagram, nothing, no positive, no beneficial thing has happened to my life. It has reduced my life, my feeling right now a lot worse than it was back previous. My life previous using Instagram was so much better. This is the only one for me, Pinterest. And the key thing is that because it allows you to look at advice, look at beautiful images, cater to yourself, it's the most reflective of your good side. I think it favors a lot of good for some reason because you need to save. It's not purely based. The algorithm is not purely based on you just simply watching or commenting, which is a lot of these other social medias. They'll show you a horrific, disgusting image, but it will be pulled into the algorithm because it's so disgusting, but so repulsive. You wouldn't even like it, but you're just looking at it and you're still repulsive. And just the hours of you looking at it, the hours of you commenting, that's what value. But I think Pinterest is a lot more you saving it, you liking it. That's what makes it boosts up. So Pinterest for me is the best. Discord, it's kind of in the same boat as Reddit. Most of the community, most of the aura, let's say around, the Reddit and Discord mods, right? Most of that aura behind it can be very bad. At the same time, there are some, like with Reddit, there are very few good communities out there, even though most of it is a circle jerk of, constantly repeating ideas. You could find that one nugget, but I would still not try. There is another social media that's kind of replaced it for more of that sort of good communities that we're going to get to a little bit later. But I would steer clear from Discord. Most of it is bad. Same with Reddit. Most of it is bad. Just a constant circle jerk of the same type of shit, the same jokes, the same degen-like activities, right? Quora, it's a lot of it is bot based. A lot of it is just lies upon lies. It's this thing just constantly giving you advice that is no real foundation on anything like that. Like, I suppose it's a little bit better than the other social medias, but a lot of the activity on it will be sucking your soul. And I say that for the reason it's just most of it is just these garbage drama that you don't want to hear in your life. Like, what do I do? I'm 48 years old. I never had a girlfriend in my whole life. I'm single. I'm $1 billion in debt. I still live with my parents in my mom's basement. Right? All this shit, like these stories that you don't even know are real, just add to your drama, just add to just your life. You just can't be dealing with it, right? What do I do if, like, I got hit by my legs got crushed by an automobile. My legs got crushed by fucking like a truck, right? What do I do? You just can't have that shit in your mind. It'll just bring you sadness, bring you despair. Don't go on Quora. You know, even if Jordan Peterson started off on Quora, just don't. Okay, just forget about it. Instagram. You know, at one point when it was just photos, it could be in that same level of Pinterest, of maybe you could have potentially some good advice, but just the constant hit of dopamine, the constant shit that Instagram is sending you, is feeding you, is 99% garbage. 99% of it is just these over-edited shit that will just fucking rot your brain. Like, do you realize what this shit is doing to your brain? Like, I don't fucking, like, if you did this, like, if you showed a fucking reel to an ape, his mind would just fucking explode. So why the fuck, it's rotting your brain. I might say get off now, but there is still something with those photos, and there still are some creators that can give you some positive advice, and you can use it for communication. You have to use it for communication. I'm gonna explain you. I'm gonna make a previous video to explain how to use Instagram without the reels. I'll make an in-depth video on that. But beyond that, you can use it for that reason. I still use it for that reason, just for communication. But before that, it's just all of it is garbage. It's just TikTok, but fucking worse. Honestly, I thought America would make like a better, more healthy TikTok to combat TikTok, but no, they just made it fucking worse. Like, TikTok is a machine, right? To just destroy and weaken, feed my enemies bread and give them circus, and they will never revolt, right? That's literally what TikTok is for the fucking Chinese. And they gave that shit to the Americans. And what the Americans, these bright brainiacs, what they did is they did this. We're going to take the exact same thing, but we're going to make it 100 times. Actually, maybe not 100 times. We're going to make it 5 times worse. We're going to add more depression. We're going to add more fucking brain rot, George Floyd, George Droid type shit. You just need to get out. You need to get out of this brain rot. You need to get out of this system. Instagram is it. But the Pope, there are some leaders that are on there. You could get some information around, like the president is on there. You know, there's a potential use for it to be good, but it's a fucking stretch. I would get off it. Tinder, it's where you find love, man. It's where you find love. It's where you find love in the 21st century, my friends. What more can I say? I mean, obviously, Tinder is mainly for, let's just say it's not for building, a house on the prairie, right? Jesse and Jackson. Jack and Diane did not meet on Twitter. Most of the Twitter encounters will be, for one reason and one reason only. And let's just say it's not discussing the political, state of the world right now. It's not about that, really. You can't be on Tinder, but if you want to play that game of being that red pill alpha guy, then, fuck it. Might as well do it. It's not going to do you any pleasure. It's not going to bring you any, true happiness. But honestly, I'm going to be honest, even as a Christian, I'd rather have that red pill, constantly, that red pill, constantly sleeping around other women, that type of atmosphere. I'd rather have that than just being a fucking brain rot loser on the fucking constantly scrolling and constantly doom scrolling on this shit. Like, I'd rather have that than, even though that's not good, I'd rather have that. So Tinder, 99% of it is literally sucking your soul, sucking your soul in the real sense, but also in that, metaphysical sense. I don't want to get too deep into that, but it's not good for you. I would try to get off, try to meet people on Christian Mingle, on, Quran meets or whatever you Muslim people use. I would just not mess with any of this Tinder stuff if you're remotely interested in actually have a connection with other people. MySpace, it's the older version. It doesn't exist anymore. If for the, a nice little history lesson, MySpace was one of the very first social medias, very popular back in the day. And, there's nothing more can I say. It was pretty good for what it was. I wouldn't even think about writing it. But like 90, it's still bad. Like, even if it's back in the day, it's still bad. And don't use it. Just don't use it, right? Yeah, sorry, I had to take a shit. I just exited my flow state. I need to get back in my deep work flow state to continue this video. But I just took a shit. Facebook, Meta, nowadays, for me, it's just boomer brain rot. For me, nothing, I haven't seen anything of value. No, there's nothing. There's some couple of groups that you can discuss, like your country or some shit. Like, just fuck off Facebook, please. 99% of it is sucking your soul. It's not as bad as the other ones, of course. Kick, yeah, just get off. Like, the thing about Kick, so Kick is, if you don't know, because this is one of the slightly more obscure ones. It's Twitch, a live streaming platform where you can watch people live, except there's a lot less rules and regulations. And you right-wing people would probably think, oh, this is a lot more based. They can finally talk about God and everything. No, it's not. They're not discussing the intricacies of the Quran. They're not discussing the intricacies of the Bible, right? They're not discussing any of that shit. Can't speak. They're not discussing any of that. They're gambling. They're going to the OnlyFans girls. They're doing the type of shit that was like popping off on YouTube back in the day. Like, get one kill, one piece of clothes removed on YouTube, like that. It's garbage. It's just gambling, constantly gambling. It's just destroying your fucking. Just get off. Anything that is related to Kick is just sucking you in. It's so fucking bad. It's bad on so many levels. The fact that it's also live, meaning it's something that you usually spend a lot of people time on, probably to get invested in, get that parasocial relationship in. It's nothing, like, I can't see myself anything good. There's no positive about it. Sure, I don't fucking, maybe some of you Sigma male guys think that, like, Andrew Tate is cool and he's fun that he's on Twitch. Let's be fucking real. Let's be dead ass, okay, Andrew? Let's be dead ass Andrew Tate. You might like Andrew Tate as a person and everything like that. You might like his courses, but he's not his content that he produces, right, for the quote unquote the masses, is just not shit you should be looking at. Even as entertain, it's just not good for you. He would probably agree. He doesn't watch his own shit, probably. It's just bad. Get the fuck off, Kick. SoundCloud, I suppose, SoundCloud, I don't have any real problem with music, really, and I have no problems with music whatsoever. I don't think you can get really that heavily addicted to music. And even let's say you did get addicted to music, like, that could potentially bring you a passion in the future that could be, very creative. Like, if you're constantly listening to music, and I'm talking specifically good music, right? I don't see anything like, there's nothing that damaging about it. Obviously, if you're listening to rap and they're constantly saying, well, I fucked that girl. She fucked me right. And I fucked her bitch right after. I didn't even tell her. I was cheating on her, right? They've like, that's like the type of the Coomer fucking brain rapper. Then yeah, that's bad. But most people that are into music, what they appreciate is the different sounds, the different elements. This might be cope. It's not cope because I'm not into music, but there's a lot better, there's a lot worse that you can do. So SoundCloud, even, SoundCloud rappers and stuff like that, it's not that bad. A chance that it could be okay. Same with Skype. Nobody's fucking gooning on Skype. There's nothing bad with Skype, right? Oh, by the way, tell me your opinions down in the comments. What's your opinion on music, specifically when it comes to, sucking your soul, right? When it comes to destructive behaviors, is music bad for you? Pretty much. I don't think it is. Most of it is pretty good, in my opinion, because you use it for other things as well. I don't see much bad about it, right? Tell me in the comments down below. Snapchat, probably the worst form of brain rot ever. I'm happy that this one is dying down. I think other things are coming that replace it. That's a lot worse. Haven't seen anything good on Snapchat ever in my life. It's good for communication, but most of the aura behind Snapchat is that Valley girl or that Valley guy sending like. I don't want to be crass. It's the dick pic platform. It's something that you can't screenshot the photos, or when they're screenshotted. You just send it and then it gets deleted. Like there's a reputation about it. There's like a swinger's reputation about it. There's just it's not good for you. It's not good for your soul. It's good if you're 15, right? Just being on Snapchat, but just once you hit the age of 19, 20, you just get the fuck off. You can't be doing this shit. It's not. Act your fucking age, right? Just don't be on Snapchat. None of the community about it is good in any way. Spotify. I think honestly, I would put it the same thing with SoundCloud. And there's a lot of brain rot when it comes with music and everything like that. Like it is a high source of brain rot, but I feel that the people who are really into music, like when you get addicted into music, like when you really get addicted into Discord, then you're a fucking degenerate. But if you really get addicted to music, if you really get addicted to Spotify, then I feel like there's much more you can have with that. And that might just be me coping, but for me, Spotify as well, above the music and everything like that, there's also podcasts, books. For me, it's pretty good. It's pretty good in my opinion. Right? I don't think, LinkedIn, obviously, there's nothing like, I mean, I know there's a very toxic culture with LinkedIn a lot. A lot of it is this self-aggrandizing thing, the type of post saying, oh, I've been a success. I've been employed for the month for 4 years straight. Look at me, everybody. Oh, I just got an internship with JP Morgan, right? It's like that type of self-aggrandizing thing. But beyond that, the biggest reason why you're using LinkedIn is to get an internship. So it's actually a positive thing. So there's nothing bad about it. You're not going to get addicted to the fucking doom scroll of Alex Hermosi's tweets on LinkedIn, on Jordan Peterson's little like tweets on LinkedIn. You're not going to get addicted to that shit. Steam games. Steam games. Why is there this aura, this musk? I don't know exactly how to describe it, around Reddit, Discord, and Steam. Like, I know that Steam is one of the biggest platforms for gaming, and I don't necessarily agree that all games are bad. I just say when you waste too much time on video games, I think it's a bad thing. I honestly think that most story games, like, you can learn a lot about it. Like, it's the same thing as watching movies, in my opinion. I don't think it's a legit form of brain rot, right? But there's a muskiness. There's a muskiness to the Steam community. You just don't get into the Steam community. Buy your games on Steam. I don't care. Buy them on sale. whatever, do whatever you want on Steam. Just don't get into the community. Don't get into fucking creating, unless if that's your passion, like creating shit for video games. Unless that is your passion, just don't try not to get into the muskiness of the Steam community. Do not get into the muskiness. But, to buy games, everything like that, it's fine. Fine. Who cares? Like, right, you play games. It's not the worst thing in the world, right? Hamza's not going to knock on your door. Alex Hermosi is not going to... David Goggins, Alex Hermosi, Hamza, they're not going to fucking front kick your front door saying, what the fuck? You just spent fucking 4 hours playing Battlefront 2. A fucking game that's 18 years old that doesn't even have any fucking updates. You're a fucking loser. Like, nothing like that is going to happen. Just appreciate your games, chill it in silence, have a couple of sweet times. Just don't get into the community. Don't get into fucking trading the Steam trading cards, everything. Just don't get into that shit, right? TikTok, yeah, obviously fucking get the fuck off TikTok right now. At least with Instagram, there is still at that level of what it first was, which was photos, which, people taking photos of their lives, of their food that they're making. Like, there still is that, you see people's stories. Remove all of that and just have the reels of Instagram. Nah, it's not fucking good. Just get the fuck off TikTok right now. Like, just I don't want to say replace it with Instagram, because Instagram, if you're using it for the same purpose, it is as bad. But I just get off. I had a friend describe me. This was the most sad thing I think I've ever heard in my life. He's a good friend, by the way, but TikTok or Reels. He told me that TikTok and Reels are like having friends. Like, you have that same atmosphere of having a funny friend around. And I was like, fuck, that is sad. Like, there's a certain aspect to TikTok and that are extremely funny. And it almost replaces, especially with the inside jokes about those platforms, it almost replaces having real friends in a dark, twisted way. Right? Because you laughed, the one that you laughed on the most, the way that you laugh the most is genuinely with your friends, right? And you have that, I feel like there's the same emotion with those short form platforms. Like, I used to use it back in the day. I stopped using it completely, but I had that same, even if I had no friends around, when I was using TikTok, it felt like I had friends and I was joking around with my friends. And I was checking the comments and they were saying funny shit too, right? It's sad. You just can't be on those fucking platforms. Just stop being on TikTok if you're on TikTok. I think most of you, if you're watching this far and you got through it, you're probably not on any of these short form platforms. But there's probably that 1%. All right, that's still like considering. No, just quit it. Find a way to quit it. Do that. Just look up online how to fucking quit TikTok, how to stop using that shit. Just stop it. Delete it from your life. Twitch, same with Kick. I'm gonna put Twitter a little bit above Kick, Twitch a little bit above Kick, because I don't think it promotes gambling as much. But still, like, we're splitting hairs here, right? It's still bad. It's booby streamers, shit like that. It's bad. It's nothing good. Nothing intelligent has ever been said out of a Twitch person. Even the best debaters on there, the fucking Destinys, the Asans, just stop. Just fucking take 1 second. Like, really think about it. Breathe in. Breathe out. I'm talking about Kick and Twitch, right? The best political streamers on those platforms, right? Even the most, like, most high intelligent. Have they ever said anything of value? Like, honestly. No. So just, if you want to get into that political shit, fine. I don't give a fuck. Just read some books, listen to some podcasts, but just don't be into fucking Twitch. You just can't. Twitter is, so you know how I kind of described, Instagram Reels and TikTok as being that friend who constantly makes you laugh, of being that atmosphere. X is like the same, but with drama. It's the same, but with drama. Meaning that the algorithm, it strives on drama. It strives on the biggest outrage possible, nothing positive. It's much worse, I think, than the short form platforms, in my opinion, just because it wraps you into that drama, and drama is a lot more sucking of your soul than humor could ever be. Not to say that, humor, by the way, I'm not talking about drama or humor in reality. I'm talking them specifically on social media, right? There's replacing the actual human emotions. All right, please don't get those two things confused. Most of you people are smart enough to know the difference, but, there is a couple of Redditoids there. Twitter sucks you in. It sucks you in the drama, with the, what the fuck did Kanye West say? Did you see what Kanye West said? And then the other guy replies, bro, what the fuck did you say, Kanye West? And then Kanye West say, bro, do not let me be controlled. And then it just constantly brings you down this drama, and just nothing positive comes out of it. You became a worse person after being subjected to that drama. It's nothing happening in reality. It's all happening on this screen of people you don't even know, right? You don't know that Kanye, I'm getting a little bit out there, but you don't know that these celebrities exist. These celebrities don't care about you. These people on Twitter, they don't care about you. This shit doesn't matter. It doesn't affect you. It's just garbage. It's just fucking garbage. Oh, well, what did Elon Musk say about fucking Dogecoin? Well, bro, did he just rug pull all these? Did the president of Argentina just rug pull all these people? It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't. Why the fuck do you care about the politics of Argentina when you live in fucking Idaho? Right? Who cares? If it affects you, it affects you, but just most of it doesn't. You can't be into this shit, right? Just try to stay clear of Twitter. And X, I don't give a fuck what it's called, right? It's both were garbage, right? It's nothing. Elon Musk, the savior, hasn't made it a Sigma male grind set only platform, right? It's garbage still, right? Both were garbage. Equally garbage, actually, I would say. Maybe X, maybe slightly bit better. I don't know. We'll see. X is bad. Don't be on X. The reason why there's that 1% is that because there are still some people who could give you some genuine information that are on those platforms. So, the bottom ones here, no people of intelligence are on that platform. But there is that, here there could be a couple of people who are on that platform, right? So I don't mean you're fucking Jordan Peterson, right? I mean the Pope, high business up people that could you give some nuggets of advice. So maybe take that, right? Take that with take with what you will. I still wouldn't be on these platforms at all, but there's that 1%, right? And I'm not on any of these platforms. I do not condone being on these platforms, but if you had to pick, a sort of quote unquote a hell to be subjected in, then I would rather be in these hells than in this hell, right? WeChat, even I don't, I was, I'm not judging WeChat about it being Chinese. It's just the same shit as the others. I imagine it's the same thing as WhatsApp. I'm not judging anything. I don't care, because a lot of people in my school actually use WeChat, and it's the same shit as WhatsApp, right? It's just a tool of communication. You're not going to get addicted in the dopamine scroll of WeChat. It's the same thing with WhatsApp. In Korea, I used to live in Korea. We had this thing called Kakao Talk, and it was just the same shit. Just a form of communication. I imagine in Japan they have their own thing. I imagine in certain countries in Europe they have their own thing. I imagine Russia has its own thing. The US, we have WhatsApp usually most of the time, but it's messages or whatever. Just a messaging software. I'm gonna put WhatsApp right there. I'm gonna put WhatsApp a little bit above, just for the pure factor that I know WhatsApp more. YouTube. Now, YouTube is the platform we're watching this right now, right? There is a chance on YouTube for it to completely rot and destroy your soul. And I think even more than all the other ones combined, because some of the most disgusting, useless garbage has been put on this platform, right? The most fucking brain, right? The brain has just left the fucking chat, right? The brain has left the convo. The brain has left the earth sometimes with these videos, right? The fucking 20 females versus one midget dating, speed dating, Sidemen reacts. KSI just reacted to this Reddit post, right? You know, the 8-hour video essay about, I don't know, the fucking Star Wars hotel, 12-hour video about the golden age of Simpsons, right? This shit, it just doesn't matter, and it's just rotting your brain. But at the same time, you know, I say all of this, but some of the most life-changing content out there is on this platform, right? And I will make its own separate video. I'm just realizing, starting my channel, there's a lot of shit that I need to talk about, go a lot more in depth in, right? But beyond that, YouTube, double-edged sword. Some of it is really bad for you. Some of it is really good for you. What I would specifically say about how to recognize something that is bad for you, I'm going to go a lot more detail in another video. But I think the 3 key metrics is, first of all, what does the thumbnail look like? Is the thumbnail like overly captivating? Does it overly have like saturation? You know, that soy face of the guy like with his teeth out, right? Like a Mr. Beast thumbnail. Does it have that type of vibe? Or a guy pointing at something really crazy, you know, actively trying to captivate you? Secondly, is the intro, specifically the first 30 seconds, is there these over sound effects? Are these bam, bam? Bro, I just explored the Pyramid of Egypt. I just renovated this land and I made it a tycoon, right? Is the guy fucking screaming with these weird sound effects with this music? Like most of that 100% of that content is garbage and will never serve you. I don't even care. Like, I know Alex Hormozy has a little bit of that, but his best videos do not have any of that fucking sound effects at the start, right? Most of it doesn't. Thirdly is if the guy has a product placement, right? And I specifically talking about a product placement that's nothing related to the video, like a NordVPN or some shit. Like, if it has all of those 3 things, it's bad, and you know it's made for purely money and purely for your attention, and just it's not good for you. There's another side to it that can be potentially good for you. We'll get into that later, right? Just steer clear of Mr. Beast, steer clear of Kai Cenat, steer clear of KSI, steer clear of any of these guys who have that overexpression face. Just steer clear of that shit. Zoom, a fucking tool. Yeah, there's nothing bad about it. Kick, from what I understand, this is kind of like a Omegle thing. A lot of females, a lot of girls, a lot of women, when they use this, they just constantly get fucking bombarded with, hey girl, how is your bob and vagina? Like that type of shit, like constantly harassment. You know, it's a thing to find other people to connect to, but you can't connect with anybody. So I'll just connect to somebody in real life, and we can get into that. But yeah, I won't put it as the worst thing in the world. School, a lot of it is brain rot. Like it's not fucking, a lot of it is this self-regurgitating thing of constantly like self-aggrandizing, like the same shit with LinkedIn. Like saying, oh, I just got like a fucking internship with JP Morgan. I bet you got nothing, right? That's the type of vibe. It's just self-aggrandizing yourself and putting other people down. But beyond that, like most of it is pretty good, and you will find some courses that will teach you a lot of things. Like I have not really had a bad experience with school. The Alex Hormozy, Sam Ovens social media app. It's quite obscure, I think, still. But it's kind of, to really explain it, it's just Discord, but for that Sigma grind set sort of atmosphere. I will be making my own one eventually. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's from my experience, it's okay. It's not the worst thing in the world. Just don't, like the same shit with all of these things, just don't get too attached to it. But you could have some potential good communities, some potential good connections come throughout it. For me, it's on the same level as LinkedIn. Pump.fun, yeah, don't, it's Kick. You don't, I know most of you don't know what pump.fun is. Do not look it up. Just do not look it up. I'm just, this is not a meme, right? This is not a meme of like me saying, look it up, and then you look it up and then you get shocked. Like, just do not. Just do not. But what it is just the most degenerate platform ever created. Like, literally, the most degenerate platform ever created. 100 billion times worth in Kick. If you go on there for any particular amount of amusement, then get the fuck off that platform right now. If you want any chance of saving your soul, just get off, right? And don't look it up, please. I bet you looked it up right now, and you're feeling disgusted, and you want to vomit. I bet that's what you're fucking feeling right now. Yeah. I told you not to look it up, but you looked it up anyway. So, what can I do? Messenger. Yeah, I mean, like who? Like why? I left the worst for last, right? This is it's a tool, right? It's just a tool for communication, as it should be. So thank you so much for watching. I put a lot of effort and time into picking what I wanted to put in this video. So I appreciate a comment telling me how I can help you. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, I was about to talk about my course and everything. I just don't want to bore you. The video's been long enough. Go, if you've watching till now, if you're listening to me till now, you have a golden attention span. You have a 100% golden attention span, and you should be fucking proud of yourself. Honestly, this is not a glaze, but you have a good attention span, honestly. Beyond that, please go outside, see the sun. If it's dark, then, read a book or something like that. Just do something wholesome. Do something would make your life better. There's just things that you know. You don't know everything in the world. You don't know everything that God and the Almighty has in store for you. But there are certain things that you know for 100% sure that can improve your life. Like a walk, reading a book, even listening to some good music. There's just shit that you know. And just do that, please, after watching this video.